So, what exactly is Earth Day?
Well, in a nutshell, Earth Day is an annual event celebrated on April 22nd to demonstrate support for environmental protection. First celebrated on April 22nd, 1970, it is now globally celebrated, including 1 billion people in more than 993 countries across the world, from a wide range of events. By taking part in activities like picking up litter or trash, planting seeds, planting trees, and more, we're making our world a happier and healthier place to live. Greenfield FFA interviewed a few students, asking them a few questions related to Earth Day. Let's take a look.
What do you think is the most beautiful thing on Earth?
I think the most beautiful thing on earth is nature. Sunrise, the nature, butterflies, the sunsets.
I think the most beautiful thing about Earth Day is coming together and helping each other. My favorite thing about the Earth is probably the sunsets.
What I think is the most beautiful thing on Earth, it would have to be the bodies of water, which include oceans, lakes, rivers, and waterfalls.
I think the most beautiful thing on Earth is the fact that you could create anything and everything just from the palm of your hands.
I think the most beautiful thing on Earth is mountains with the ice on it and the green trees surrounding it. It looks amazing.
In my opinion, the most beautiful thing on earth is probably a lake because you're out in nature and it's just nice and peaceful out there.
What I think the most beautiful thing on Earth is not only the people, but nature itself. Nature's a beautiful thing, you know, it comes in all shapes and sizes. Whether it be rain, plants, trees, nature can really show us the great things of Earth and the bad things.
What I do to honor the Earth is I am involved in the agriculture community. I make sure that we are sustainable with our agriculture and how we grow it, and that we make sure that our agriculture community does not affect the Earth in a negative way.
What do you do to honor the Earth?
I make sure that we honor the earth by everything we do is sustainable. So if we are raising animals or growing produce or anything, we make sure that we are being mindful of the earth. We're not putting a bunch of chemicals in that are going to harm it. If we do have to spray pesticides or something, we make sure that we're using them properly so that we're not harming the environment or animals around within our crops. Also, if we are raising livestock, we make sure to use as much of the animal as possible. We compost any waste materials, and then we produce that back into a pasture. So we just try to stay as sustainable as possible.
In my opinion, the purpose of Earth Day is to bring awareness to basically all the problems the Earth has, like climate change, pollution. I think it's a day that people should learn and be taught everything about how we can do to help to reduce our carbon footprint, to reduce the trash in our oceans, and to basically help stop climate change.
In your opinion, what do you think is the purpose of Earth Day?
I think the purpose of Earth Day is to celebrate Earth's natural resources and to bring more awareness about using more cleaner resources and about climate change and about plastic pollution too.
What is the purpose on Earth Day in your opinion?
I think the purpose of Earth Day is to kind of take a moment to appreciate the planet that gives us our home and everything that goes on around us. Sometimes we get so tunnel vision, you know, I feel like we don't really appreciate like the beautiful nature and like the sky, just small things, appreciate the earth. I think that's the point of it.
And what do you think is the most beautiful thing on Earth?
Sunsets. I'm a big sunset girl. Like a orange, red, blue, pink sunset, like that gets me every single time.
And what do you do to honor it?
To honor the earth, I think there's a lot of things I do, but I think first and foremost, being an ag teacher, like I get to teach kids about, and like our future generations about different processes, like what goes on in the earth, like small things, like in soil science, you know, you don't realize that the road you're driving on, like the soil has to be a certain way, and where your house is built, and like the way that your food is grown and where it comes from, and just all those different processes that happen, you know, around us constantly. I feel like being able to like educate people about that is a huge thing that like I can do for the earth.
Today I will be showing you 2 tips or tricks that you can use for planting in spring. For this, you're gonna need an egg carton and a milk jug, just a gallon of milk. These are the 2 tricks that we'll be using today. Now, we're gonna start with the egg carton first. And this is a doki. Okay, so you're gonna need a pile of soil. I have some right here in this bucket. And water. You're obviously gonna already making a mess. You're gonna need water because you're actually going to water the soil a little bit and get in there and just move it around. And you want to keep doing this until you get a consistency where the soil will not fall, if that makes sense. I'll show you a little bit more as we get there. Keep adding more and more and more and more. Okay, so I finally got the consistency that I was looking for, and this is exactly what we are looking for. It holds together nicely. It won't. It clumps up together, but it doesn't fall together. Does that make sense? Compared to regular soil, where if you hold it, the soil will just fall out. But this holds together nicely, and this is what we're looking for. And the reason why we're doing this is because you won't have to water the soil anymore because you already watered it. And this is because this is an egg carton. You will water this a lot, and it will slowly start to dissolve because of the water. However, if you minimize the amount of water you add to the egg carton will last longer. What you're going to do is just pile the soil into the individual cells of the eggs like that until you get all the way to the edges, like so. And you see how it doesn't fall off? Obviously if I tilt it, the soil will come out, but like this isn't coming out because the water is holding it together, because that's what the consistency that we were looking for. For this example project, I will be using cilantro. I'm going to plant cilantro for this one. And you're just going to put at least 2 per cell. And then what I mean by per cell is per hole. It's like 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, etc. So I'm going to put 2 here, like that. And I will cover it up like that. And I'll do the same thing for the other ones. And I'll be right back after I get to here. So as you can see, I finished my egg carton, filling every cell up with cilantro seeds. And you won't have to water this anymore today because again, we added the water into the soil and we're mixing it up. The egg carton, this material, specifically this material, because there are other egg carton materials that aren't like this. As you can see, most egg cartons are biodegradable, which is huge because that means it's more sustainable and more efficient, which is huge because obviously you won't have to worry about damaging the seedling when you're trying to transplant them. And we're going to do a second project using a milk jug. This one is my favorite because it's like its own little greenhouse. And you already cut this in beforehand, but you are going to always have to cut this in half like this. So be careful when you're using scissors. And you're just gonna place your soil in the egg carton, sorry, in the milk jug like that. You can read the back of the package to like spacing wise. That way you get an idea of how much you should be placing per like spacing wise, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna use cilantro. So this is exactly what you should be looking for. I'm gonna use cilantro seeds again just because I still have leftovers from the egg carton project. Be generously on how much you add. You don't need to add so much, but I'm gonna add just a couple. Once you have them like this, I'm not really sure if you can see the seeds, but oh yeah, you can. So they were gonna look like this. This is what you're looking for. I probably could have spaced them honestly a little bit more better, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Um, so for this project, just be careful on how much spacing you should give each seed. And then you're gonna add a few layers of soil on top just to cover up the seedlings. As you can see, you can't see any of the seedlings. The soil is not packed in, which you should never do. So, this is where the duct tape comes in handy. You can use tape, but I suggest using duct tape because it will withstand the elements of the weather a lot better than regular tape. And you're just going to seal the jug. You don't want any air coming through because again, it's going to act like a small greenhouse. So it should look something like this. The jug is sealed, no air is going through. You won't have to water this anymore today because again, we already added water into the soil. When the next time comes when you should be watering, you're going to open the top of the jug and you're going to add water through this hole. And that's it. These are 2 projects that you can use at your own home to start your own garden or start your own STE project as well. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Earth Day. Bye. Sorry for the wind. I know it's windy out here in Greenfield. It's my joke. That's a wrap. You want to say hi? This is Maxie.